this leg of the route, the Macclesfield mile muncher between Buxton and Leek, is a real highlight. And I will certainly be coming back to ride this road again. Afternoon folks, welcome to Macclesfield. Believe it or not, it is the middle of February and the roads are dry, not a sign of snow or ice. Just after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm about to do a 60-mile loop. It's a 1 gallon challenge that features an MCN, a reader whose name escapes me, forwarded to the MCN, and they published it a few months back. It's called the Macclesfield Mile Muncher. So it starts off in Macclesfield, 60-mile loop taking in Whaley Bridge, Buxton, Leek, Congleton, up towards Alderley Edge, and then back, finishing off at the same place in Macclesfield. I expect it'll take me just over an hour. As I said, it is part of the MCN 1 gallon challenge, although 60 miles on a ZZR, I'm sure 1 gallon is pushing it. I am going to finish the loop back at the same petrol station, so I'll top up and we'll see how close to a gallon we get. I'm sure it's going to be closer to 2. Roads have dried out nicely. They were a little bit damp, certainly very dirty when I set off this morning. Came over the Cat and Fiddle on the way to Macclesfield. Excellent road, really brilliant road to ride. Average speed cameras at 50 miles an hour for large parts of it, but still a road that's worth riding. We'll just head towards Reno now, just over a mile away. Not sure whether the GoPro picks it up, but quite a big elevation change as we go uphill. So we're just leaving Reno now on the way up to Whaley Bridge. Speed limit changed to 50. To overtake there though. Glorious blue skies, the backdrop to the ride. So we're heading towards Whaley Bridge now. Going to turn right just before we get there. Head down towards Buxton before finding the A53 to Leek. Just make out a reservoir down at the bottom of the valley towards the left, and dam wall at the far end. Now heading away from Whaley Bridge down towards Buxton. Where I think we pick up the A53 to Leek, which on the map looks like possibly the best part of the route. Cool air is very welcome through the helmet. Another huge reservoir down there to the right. Views seem to be living up to expectations, but unfortunately so does the traffic. It is a Friday afternoon and the school holidays, so it should be expected, I guess. It's a shame nonetheless. You see the reservoir just stretching into the distance there. See if we can get clear of some of this. Still no leaves on the trees, being mid-Feb. Not quite spring, just makes views around the bends a little bit easier. I think that's probably the view of the route so far. What an amazing view down to the valley. The peaks just joined at the bottom there, seem to be overlaid on top of one another. I'm assuming that's Buxton just nestled in the valley in the distance. Going to avoid the hassle of finding a parking space in Buxton, we're just going to skirt it, pick up the A53, head directly to Leek, where hopefully we will lose a bit of this traffic. So I've just entered Buxton, looking for a right turn in half a mile. St John's Road is the road we're looking for. So here's the right, strange shaped junction. This looks like the start of the A53 out towards Leek. Leek, 13 miles according to the sign. I do have to keep reminding myself that we're still in mid-February, because I am absolutely boiling here. Temperature must be above 15, probably pushing 20 degrees now. Still hear the fan on the radiator, just shows how warm the bike is. Sitting in this traffic doesn't help that. So the A54 forks to the right here, and then you can branch off towards Congleton and over the Cat and Fiddle, and it looks like most of the traffic's heading that way, so hopefully that means that my route will be much clearer. I think as far as views go, particularly in England, they don't get much better than that. Certainly up there with the best. That is incredible. What a fantastic advert for the Peak District. It's your typical Peak District scene. Rolling green hills, hedge road fields. What an amazing place to ride a motorbike. opened up and the traffic has all but disappeared. This leg of the route, the Macclesfield Mile Muncher between Buxton and Leek, is a real highlight. And I will certainly be coming back to ride this road again. See how the landscape changed in the distance there. Green peaks change into crags. Fellow ZZR, always good to spot ZZRs when you're out and about. I'm sure he's having just as much fun as I am. Quite a steep drop in elevation here. You see the road rising again up into the distance. Just feel the temperatures drop now. We are heading towards 3 o'clock. Just going to put the grips on. Not had them on so far today. Still, for mid-February, this weather is absolutely glorious. Seem to have found some traffic again, which is a shame. And we're just entering Leek, Queen of the Moorlands, apparently. Unfortunately, it looks like the route takes us straight through the centre of Leek, and at 3 o'clock on a Friday, that's probably not the best idea. Nice little market square opposite the church in the centre of Leek. Must confess, somewhere that I've never been before. Couple of speed cameras on the left here, 30 zone. One at the top of the hill just past, one at the bottom of the hill as well. They all showed up on the sat nav. So far the traffic through Leek's not been too difficult. I am gonna pull over in this petrol station, not for fuel but to change the battery in the camera. So if things suddenly go black, that's why. We're back. Quick battery swap in the GoPro. Use of the facilities. we're back en route, I think, if I'm right, heading towards Congleton, then up towards Alderley Edge, and then back to the start point in Macclesfield. Probably halfway through this Macclesfield mile muncher. Remember, this is mid-February. It's just gone 3 o'clock, so there's not actually that much daylight left. Probably an hour and a half before it starts to get dark. And I've probably got an hour or so journey back home from Macclesfield, if not more. So at the end of the route today, we will fill up again before the ride home and see how close to a gallon we are. First leg of the journey between Macclesfield and Whaley Bridge, and I guess extending all the way down to Buxton. Some nice sections, some nice viewpoints, quite a lot of traffic, very often villages and 30-mile-an-hour speed limits that slow things down, but certainly beyond Buxton, between Buxton and Leek, real highlight of the route. Much quicker, the road's much more open, well surfaced, skirting around the peaks, incredible views out into the distance. Great big reservoir just nestled at the bottom of the valley there. And the peaks climbing into the distance. Stunning part of the world. Great place to ride a motorbike. There's a fair few fellow bikers out and about today. There's one. Congleton, the next waypoint then, just under 3 miles away according to sat-nav. Across the Cheshire border. Spot a viaduct in the distance there. This is our left, A54 to Congleton. Just looking ahead and seeing most of the traffic seems to be going straight on, which is a good sign. Road closed ahead is not a good sign though. Sat-nav is showing a left here. So unless there's some signage saying otherwise, I think we'll take that. Try and join back up with the route. Let's see what this can do for us. Hoping that this bypasses the diversion. This looks like it rejoins the A54. Part of me is expecting another sign up here to say road closed. The closure might be further towards Congleton. There's worse places to get lost. Now there is a diversion sign to the left. Let's see what we've got to the right. Road ahead closed, Congleton. Well, that's put a dampener on things. Don't think there's a great deal more I can do other than cut the route short, which is a real shame, so I have to finish the Macclesfield mile muncher. I have to leave that for another day. Just set the sat-nav off, recalculating to Macclesfield. Well, that really is a shame. Set off with the intention of completing an MCN 1 gallon challenge, and 3/4 of the way round you find that one of the roads is closed. What it does mean is it's probably saved me half an hour, which means I might just get home before it gets dark. It's the only bright side, I guess. Well, that is a real shame, having to cut the Macclesfield mile muncher short, missing out Congleton and Alderley Edge. Although I do think we probably did ride the best road of the route between Buxton and Leek. Fantastic road, that, great views. That's the first, beaten from the lights by a transit. We'll let him have it. Just coming to the end of the MCN 1 gallon challenge attempt, which unfortunately we had to cut short because of a road closure. Thank you to the MCN reader that sent in the route. Certainly inspired me to give it a go, come out into the peaks to ride it. So thank you to the reader. I will publish his name when I edit the video. All that's left to do now is see how close to a gallon we actually were. I'm not entirely sure what 5.06 litres equates to. I think that a gallon might be closer to 4.5, so I might have just exceeded it, even with the shortcut at the end. Thanks for watching.